So guys, welcome to this manga log video. If you make it to the end, there'll be a special message to you to type in the comments so you know that you made it to the end of this video. So, let's get directly into this review of these mangas that I've read. Let's go. So, in the first first manga I am reading is Indigo. By Chin-Ho Kwong and Chin Kit Kwong. They are Chinese, I think. It's the Chinese manga, and it's pretty much created by Nakama Press. This is a beautiful illustrated manga, and to be honest, one of my favourites is volume 1 as well. I really did enjoy a bunch of the illustration and the art that is in this. This is practically one of the best pieces of art I have actually seen. It's pretty much different to a manga because the pages are more thick and more they don't want to move, stubborn. But when I'm going to be showing you these pages, you're going to be seeing pretty much the best shots ever that I have of them on my phone. Honestly, this art and the artist who did this is pretty good because it's about a girl and she has these powers. She can hear plants, she can hear animals, and she's important. And she has a friend called Genesis, and she works for this guy who is really into the occult and wants to do a paper on them. He's like a publisher of a magazine and stuff, and pretty much it just starts off weird where you see full color, and there's talking about choices, and in Act 1, pretty much Genesis tells. I think her name is Al. What's her name? Ella Summer. Genesis tells Ella Summer that this professor died, but it looks weird. He looks like he died of dehydration, which was not normal. And she was like, I know this professor. He helped me before when I was in college doing my university degree, and she pretty much had the same powers as him. And then things take a turn for the worse where she finds out this entire species is trying to killed him and is now trying to kill her. And at the end, she had to make a big choice of sacrificing herself now to save the earth and stop a war coming out. And pretty much she'll be put back into the real world afterwards. And to be honest, this volume was so good. We saw some mysterious foes, some mysterious people in this manga, it's just so incredible. I'm just shocked by it. It's the colours as well on this front cover is perfect. Describing what this manga is. It's weird, it's occult-like, and I really do love what this is about. It just proves what people can create in manga form. And honestly, for reading this first volume, I'm going to give it an easy 9.6 out of 10. I'm hoping volume 2 is going to be good once we pick it up. But honestly, this is my first Chinese manga, I think. It's Chinese or Korean. But honestly, I really do love the way this is. And it's in manga form. The darkness, the artist worked his magic. And I'm going to just show you a bunch of pictures of the incredible art that I've seen on this. And you guys can make your decisions if you want to pick this up. Because honestly, I will literally be recommending this manga to everyone I come across who's into manga. Because this... So, we have I think it's Corona Rock Moon Age Daydreamer, I think. And this is a zombie, no, not a zombie, a vampire manga, which starts off very interesting, very 18 plus, if you do say so. There is nothing hidden at all, but whilst I was reading it, the art and the direction of the story, if you can get past like the few first pages, it's interesting. You meet Ty, and he's with this vampire woman. She's technically sleeping with him, and he's underage, which is crazy, but it's the way of this world. Zombies, it's weird. No, vampires, not zombies. But yeah, then his cousin comes to check up on him because he's missing school. And yeah, he then has like a incident with a rogue vampire who gets into his apartment and doesn't hurt him. Doesn't look like he's going to threaten him at first, until he tastes his blood. And then we meet this girl, this rock girl, Anami I think her name is, and she works with the police in secret as a human/vampire. She hides her vampire past, and she goes and searches for this rogue vampire. Now, after he attacks and gets, as you say, turned on by the way that the blood tastes, he attacks Ty, trying to like get his blood, and she finds him, fights him with silver, and burns his entire face, punches him, takes him in with the policeman, and then Ty has a thing for this rock girl, dumps the girl he's with when they're at this rock party, because this is a rock. This entire thing is pretty much a concert rock zombie fest, and pretty much it goes well. He goes back to school he's trying to better himself because he's seen the girl, and then the girl Anami has to convince this policewoman that she's not a wild beast. And at one point, the policewoman gets kidnapped, and this guy doesn't like her smoking cigarettes because the vampires live without needing blood with cigarettes, and pretty much he gets pissed off, makes a bunch of zombies try and take her blood, but the rock girl Anami, the girl that she doesn't like, or she doesn't like vampires in general, saves her, and she's like, I haven't changed my mind about you, but I need volume 1 again. But honestly, this is published by Alien Books, and to be honest, this has been incredible. I really do like the vampire aesthetic. An 8.6 out of 10. So we are doing a review on gachiakuta, and this manga is about a young boy who is in the slums, who likes to pick up trash, and his name is Rudo, and he pretty much gets caught getting stuff from the trash because it's illegal to be doing that, but he does it anyway. He gets this stuffed toy and brings it to this girl Chinwa, who he likes, and they are friends, I guess, and he likes her. And his uncle Regretto pretty much makes him the next day confess and give her this stuffed toy, and pretty much he's looked after him since he was a child, abandoned, and his father killed someone, which is not great. But Regretto was pretty much a father figure to Rudo, and Regretto gets killed. Rudo sees it and gets blamed for the murder, gets chucked into the depth where the trash and people who've committed crimes go, and he ends up getting ambushed by the trash monster and gets saved by a guy named Engine, who teaches him a lesson by handing him over to some guys who notice that he's a cephalite or whatever it's called, that he's from the above, and they pretty much want to sell him off. They force feed him trash. It's not looking good for him, but then he has the ability to, whatever object he has, to bring life to them and bring power. So he takes mana or this form for his power, and he gains to attack and be able to do stuff that most people can't do. That engine scene when he was fighting the trash monster, and pretty much after them two getting away, Engine offered him a job as like a cleaner, the people that defeat the trash monsters that come about because of the people up above. But they're not underground, they're above, but it's like a weird thing. But all the way through, he's like trying to figure out how to get back, because he wants revenge on the people that framed him, people who doubt him, and for everyone that just doesn't like him for no reason. He wants to get his revenge and show them that he's the best. And he did not kill his uncle. And pretty much at the end of this volume, Ridu meets this guy because a cat steals Ridu's money, and he grabs a stick and it's not his, so he meets this other cleaner, but it looks like they're gonna fight. And honestly, this volume is probably an 8.6 out of 10, 8.5 on that medium scale. I want to find out more about this character and development, and to be honest, let's get into the next volume. So with this volume, this is the God-Slaying Demon King, and it's an adaptation, I think, of a light novel. So we have, at the start, we meet the Demon King, Harm, I think that's how you say his name, Haram, if I'm going that. He goes after the demon god, as it's called. He is the Demon King, so he's fighting the gods. He brings the demon god completely down to ashes. His bones were there. The way the fight scene looked was perfect. I love this fantasy-based thing, but just as he thought he won, he got evaporated by one little thing that he didn't realise. He was facing a god that can just obliterate any human, or any demon, or any being, and he got evaporated from the world. But he changed his reincarnation, pretty much thing that he set up before the fight, because he was going to go back to being a demon. He changed himself to be a human. He woke up, he got his clothes on, he was walking out of his dungeon and meets a elf lady, and her name's Luminous. Lumer. I think I'm dyslexic, but I don't know. Lumer, I think that's her name. And she tells him not to go up the mountain, to go down to the thing, because there's an ancient dragon that she's going to attack. And pretty much Haram goes up to the top, meets the dragon, befriends the dragon, because in his previous life, his father was his sidekick. Then, after they become buddies, we find out that the Demon King Harm has a adopted daughter, of course, which is cool, and he has a medallion that tells him that she's alive. And then after that, we see Lumiere fighting this ogre and getting her sword broken as Hammer and the dragon watches. Humer saves her by stopping the dragon before Lumiere gets killed, not dragon, the ogre before she gets killed and obliterates his heart. And then she's like, I have to go and save these merchants. Now, these merchants are evil. So Hammer splits up and destroys these ogres that are chasing her while she goes and checks upon the merchants. He kills all of the ogres, and then Lumiere gets betrayed and shot in the back by an arrow from one of the merchants. They're evil. They're evil people. They want to have a piece of her, and it's terrible. And then Harem literally walks up on them, super punches the main guy in the face like a badass. Like, I respect him, even though he's a demon king, and completely saves her, heals her. And he then finds out that the reason those merchants or bad people were attacking her was because she was the daughter of the king. And to be honest, I really do enjoy this fantasy pretty much manga. I really did enjoy humor, or the Demon King. And I really do enjoy Lumiere, the elf girl. She lets him stay in a house, and then she wants him to teach. She wants to be a apprentice of him because she's seen his healing magic and what he does with magic, because she can't use it. And then he comes clean saying he was a demon king. She's like, okay, I definitely want you to be my teacher in healing magic, because she can't do no magic. And it works. And then we get a cut to a bird going into a cave with the demons with horns, and it just says Haram. I think that is the god, but he's in a body of a demon. So honestly, I can't wait for volume 2 when I get to this. I'm gonna give it a 8.7 out of 10. Not a bad score. It was fun. It was entertaining. I actually read this and I really did. So we have Pink Candy Kiss, a story and art by Ami Azuma. And this does look interesting. I have read it now. It's about two interesting women. One woman is named Takara, and she got dumped by her boyfriend when thinking about getting married, and it was because she wasn't obsessed with him and possessive, and he didn't think that she loved him. So then she was talking to her friend. Her friend gave her the idea that she might not have actually met the one person that she was meant to be with, and she was bringing up that she's never felt possessive in the way that she did. And then she does that work and meets a lady she thinks that looks pretty, and she finds out it's not, and pretty much she meets with a friend, and pretty much she said, I feel like I recognize you, and it is her old friend Amanohara. So pretty much those two are happy to see each other. She starts crying, her friend starts crying, old friend starts crying because she wanted to see her because they left in high school. And there's more secrets to be untold. And to be honest, I'm not going to spoil too much for you in this volume, because I actually highly recommend you guys fully check this out. I don't want to go too in detail with it, but all I'm going to say is that I will be purchasing every single volume that comes out for this series, because I'm so intrigued on the detailing of these two as potential romance and how this made me feel. This was truly a interesting read on everything about this. I don't want to spoil it, but honestly, I just hope that at some point they get together. Because there are so many secrets in this volume that you guys really need to read. It took me about under an hour to finish this volume. And I rate this highly as one of the best GL mangas that I've read. It's near the same level as, what is it? Chameleon in the Snow. Something like that. I'll probably have to put text on the screen, but yeah. This is second best. This is interesting. This is adults loving each other and kindling stuff. I just can't wait to read more. I'm going to give this 9.7 out of 10. It's difficult to pick a number, but that is always going to be. It can either get better, it can get worse. I just hope that it goes even more in depth on these two characters together. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this manga, but we're going into another manga right now. So, with this manga, Chasing Spiker, this manga was fully interesting. It starts off with where we meet this young girl. And pretty much she's having a discussion with another girl. And to be honest, it's just crazy because it's really, really funny. And I truly think that this manga has its own way. It's got a build up, of course, because these two women, I think the first one is Serena-chan, and Tachabani Riaiku is the other girl, and they have an entire feud, and Sasaban catches Rikuiko to where she sees her take a girl into a love hotel and tries to get her off the top of the grades. And pretty much it's interesting because she says, I'm good at everything, but I'm good at sex, and then messes with her and makes her flushed and have dreams about her and makes her go a little AWOL for our main character. But honestly, this entire thing is just so good. Like, fun to see this like slice of life aspect of this, because like it's just super crazy and just super amazing how you get to see these two young women who have different life behind the scenes, and you find out a little bit more about these two. It's just crazy that pretty much we have these two overachievers. One's top of like their school grade and the other one's second, but it's super interesting to like see how at some point I think this is going to be a romance. I'm hoping it's a romance because I just seriously like these two characters and the way they just have their own way with this. We have Nakuza, who is or like one of the people who like to stick with the rules. And we have Serena, who is the girl who likes to like break the rules but doesn't mean to. We see them pretty much having to do a job together. You see that pretty much Serena is unhappy that I think it's Marika, but she doesn't want her to pity her, because at one point she literally pities her, and she goes to slap her in the rain. It goes crazy, and pretty much this entire volume is like a 7.6, because this has a lot to unravel in the aspect of this series. I just hope that it gets even better in the second volume. So with this manga we have a Grace Rosa. So we start with meeting pretty much Rosa as a child and getting saved by Roger. Then we see her older now. So we see a flashback of her past while she's still alive and got saved by Roger. Then we see her eating and heading towards a mission because she's trying to find Roger, because he went missing 5 years ago. And she legitimately gets into this bar. This guy is a pig and tries to hit on her, and it's one of the targets she's after, so she legitimately pulls out her deagle and blows his face off. Then the entire bar on that guy's team or thing group is trying to kill her, but she's Rosa, the cleaner, a part of this agent organization of criminals that are very good at killing people. Now, this entire manga is building up to her killing a bunch of people, saving women from human trafficking. You get backstory on Roger and why she legitimately wants to find him, because he's her father figure, pretty much. She thinks of him as a father, and it's cute because you get backstory of how he treated her when she was a child, and he didn't want her to be in this business, but Roger pretty much forced her into this business because he went missing for 5 years, whilst pretty much being a sniper looking over this human trafficking ring for girls. One of the girls got slapped and was about to be completely violated, whilst she looks at the sniper and pulls the trigger and blows this man's brains out, which is truly insane, and I love it. She's so cool. Then she goes after the 2 main guys that she's after. She almost gets killed, but then the guy takes the mick out of Roger or her, and it means that he's taking the mick out of Roger, and she legitimately pulls his eye out and blows it up, and then shoots him with a deagle and kills, well, technically shoots the main guy's nuts off, and says that's how it would feel, how a girl feels with this type of thing. So she saves them. Then she goes on a few more missions and meets up with Lewis after doing a mission for an Italian mobster, and she went and saved one of his men who got captured, but then it turns out he blabbed his mouth, so he had to kill him. Then we meet Lewis, who knows a bit more about Roger's whereabouts, and pretty much they see each other, but it's an awkward encounter in a gunfight because of Roger's a bodyguard for another family, a part of the same family, and pretty much they see each other. It gets awkward, and then he went missing again after they've seen each other, and she's still looking for him overseas in the US, and it ends with pretty much her in a room, I think in the main guy's room, with bodies all around her. She's trying to figure out where he is, and to be honest, I can't wait to read the next volume, because this is another great publisher by Taita Manga, and pretty much the entire team behind this entire thing, the writer, the artist, is amazing. It's pretty much an 8.9 out of 10. So we have Tank Chair Volume 1 by Manabu Yashiro, and we have 2 main characters. One is Nagi, and the other is, what's his sister's name? what's his sister's name? Shizuka. These two, well, the sister finds bad guys and lures them to attack her brother. Nagi, who got injured by trying to save his sister, that pretty much at that time he was protecting her and got shot by accident in the brain that caused him to lose it, not being allowed to wake up and having like this dead entire body pan, so he's completely dead. And our first action scene with him was against a bunch of monkeys who are destroying places, killing people, and they have murderous intent. So any murderous intent that Nagi feels, he will absorb that and attack and wake up. And honestly, it will keep him awake if he feels murderous intent. He takes out a few guys, one guy with a sniper who tries to kill him. Luckily, he was close. If he was a lot farther away, he would have died by point-blank sniper shot. And then these two people meet up with Shinji at her school and pretty much want to kill her brother Nagi. So they pretty much think that because this guy has a mask that hides his killer instinct, that he will die. And Shinji runs out and plans to kill her brother, pretty much, or attacks so he can get the wake up because he fell asleep. And he wakes up and obliterates them. And there is this random guy at the end, pretty much, with this guy. But honestly, I really can't wait to read volume 2 once I get it. So we have Hellsing Volume 1 single edition, and pretty much I like Alucard. He is an incredible undead vampire being who can't die in this, and I really did enjoy the team up with this police girl that he saves, and the action and murderous sprees that go on, and Aklud pretty much kills all of the evil vampires to say with their agency, Hellsing. And pretty much you get a bit of backstory on how Aklud come to be, and the big agent girl who he works for. You see that pretty much the entire backstory is that her uncle is trying to steal her family's company, and then Aklud kills every single one of them to protect her, and it's pretty cool. I really did enjoy the last extra story as well, where there's these two dressed up as Catholic nuns, and they kill a bunch of terrorists, which is really, really cool. And to be honest, this volume is settling at a 9 for me out of 10, because I do like the gory aspect of this. I do like Aklud. He fought one of another company, Catholic religious groups as well, which is cool. He had his head blown off but regenerated it. And to be honest, these single volumes look really cool, and I want to get all 10 of them. So guys, thank you for watching this month's manga log. I am so happy about how much books I did read this month, and I hope this continues. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and say Manga Club in the comments down below, knowing that you got to the end of this video. So yeah, peace.